Hello. Thank you for joining this month's Connect with Control session. My name is Trinidad Gaitan, and I'll be your facilitator for this webinar. Today, we will explain the stages of New Day and Pre-New Day duration and strategies to decrease it, and troubleshooting New Day issues. We have three presenters today from the Control support team, Eric Rudy, Ricardo Moreira, and Maribel Garcia. We recommend going to full screen mode during this presentation by pressing the full screen button. Please note that this presentation is available via the Files pod at the bottom of your screen. For any questions you may have during the presentation, please post them in the Q&A pod. We'll be addressing your questions at the end of the session. Today, we'll explain the topics you see here regarding New Day. We'll discuss the changes that Control Room Server takes during New Day, how long it takes to complete, and how that time can be improved, as well as troubleshooting New Day issues. Afterwards, we'll take your questions during the Q&A session and give you the opportunity to provide your feedback. For our first demonstration, Eric Rudy will cover the stages involved in New Day. Eric, please go ahead.
Thank you, Trini. As he mentioned, I will be giving an overview of New Day and how that works in an on-prem environment. New Day is the start of the Control Room Server day where new jobs are loaded into the active environment. We will be showing version 9.21 here, but there are only minor differences compared to earlier versions. Each server has its own New Day, so if you have an enterprise manager with 4 Control Room servers, there will be 4 New Days that occur in total. When New Day runs, all server processes are suspended and no actions can be performed to that server. Thus, it is important for this process to be as fast as possible to ensure your job flows start on time. All jobs currently running on agents from the previous day continue without interruption, and their status is updated after New Day completes. New Day will happen at the same time each day, but can be changed if desired. For example, each of the 4 servers may be for different business units, and you need to configure them to start at different times. Finally, there are several phases to New Day, and we can use the CTM log utility to review them in case we need to find out why it is taking longer than normal on a given day. Let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do is make sure you have each New Day set to run at the time desired. Use the Configuration Manager CCM or the CTM sys utility to set your value. Let me show you how that is done. After logging into the CCM, right-click on your Control Room server and select System Parameters. Then, in the Name column, search for Daytime. This is where you can set the New Day time. The default is plus 0700, but notice I've set mine to plus 0600. If you don't have access to the CCM or prefer command line, run the CTM sys utility. Select System Parameters, and number 1, New Day time is where you set that value. If you noticed, both my servers had a plus prefix to the time, but you can also use a minus. The prefix gives you the ability to determine when New Day occurs relative to midnight. The plus is typically used in most environments and means that the Control M date is changed after midnight happens. The minus prefix changes the Control M date before midnight happens. At a high level, New Day has several phases, from pre-New Day to cleanup and removing old jobs, to the main purpose, ordering your jobs for the day, and finally, sending this new active information back to Enterprise Manager. Let's start by looking at the CTM log utility where you can see how long each phase takes. On the Control Room server, there are 2 commands we need to run. In previous versions, we only needed the first, but with version 9.21, activities have been split into 2 sections. With the first, we pass the list SS and CD parameters along with the time frame to show the start and end of each phase. Here you see various tasks start and end. Take note of the times at the beginning of each line to understand how long they take. For the second command, we passed list SS and OD to display all the jobs ordered by New Day and pre-New Day. The first phase is pre-New Day, which is where Control M prepares the next day's jobs in a temporary location 1 hour before the New Day time we set earlier, in preparation for ordering them at that time. Looking at the CTM log OD output, It shows this as the pre-new day ordered and ordering lines at 5 a.m. in this example, 1 hour before our new day at 6 a.m. Once new day actually starts at 6 a.m., these jobs are bulk loaded into the database, taking only a few seconds and reducing downtime. Without this enabled, new day would have to review all jobs one by one, causing it to take longer. In the CCM, it is the new day _ mode control M server system parameter that determines whether this is enabled or not. And by default, it is enabled with a value of 1. If for some reason pre-new day takes longer than 1 hour and cannot complete before new day starts, the pre-new day parameter found in the config.dat file on control M server can be adjusted longer to let it finish ahead of the new day start. And if pre-new day is not finished by the time new day begins, that pre-work is still bulk loaded, and new day continues evaluating and ordering the remaining jobs rather than starting from scratch. The good news is that if any job or calendar definitions change while pre-new day is running, those jobs will be reevaluated when new day itself begins. Moving on, let's look at what happens during the cleanup phase. When the new day time finally arrives, we see the procedure started message in CTM log, and the cleanup phase begins. In the CCM, you'll notice that the gateway message changes from connected to formatting AJF. The first thing handled is cleaning up old job log information based on the server system parameter IOA log LM. In this example here, I have the default of 2 days set, and you see the CTM log output shows log cleanup ended days equals 2. Also, we remove old conditions, also known as events, that are 1 year and 1 day old. This way, conditions from last year won't affect current jobs. More information on this can be found by clicking on the Automatic Prerequisite Condition Cleanup link in the Links section of this webinar. New Day will remove old job statistics as well. By default, we keep the last 20 executions as seen in the CTM log output here. Also, the following 2 system parameters in the CCM, run INF purge limit and statistics cleanup in New Day, relate to statistics cleanup each day. The last cleanup task is a request by control M server to each available agent, asking them to remove old job output and process log information. The job INF and agents cleanup messages in CTM log will relate to this step. The following 2 system parameters in the CCM, output retention and agents cleanup in New Day, relate to these functions. Details on all items removed can be found by clicking on the Agent New Day Procedure Tasks link in the Links section of this webinar. The final step before actually ordering the day's jobs is to purge old jobs from the active environment. Let's take a look at what happens here. Our CTM log output shows this as the removed from active job file by general daily messages. Both jobs and smart folders are removed using the following rules. We'll remove any that have ended OK or are in a deleted state. If a job or folder is not OK and has been active for 1 day plus its defined keep active value, then it is removed. When waiting on a resource, such as an unavailable host or a quantitative resource, they get removed when they have been active greater than the keep active value. And the same is true for jobs waiting for confirmation. Any job or folder that is still executing or on hold will not be removed by New Day. Now we get to the heart of New Day, ordering the jobs you need in the environment for that day. This is where the pre-New Day jobs are applied in bulk, and if everything went well there, it takes only a few seconds for all jobs to be ordered. Earlier, what pre-New Day did was to take a look at all the folder definitions in the database and gathered any with an order method of automatic. Any folder set to manual or a specific user daily other than system was not evaluated. So in this example, we see that 3 folders get evaluated by pre-New Day. The folder defined with the user daily FT jobs and the one with order method none were not evaluated. From that list of automatic folders, pre-New Day determined which jobs within were eligible to run, and New Day now bulk loads them into the active environment. The CTM log output now shows all jobs that got ordered, including those bulk loaded from pre-New Day, and any New Day had to order because job definitions changed or pre-New Day did not complete within that 1 hour period. Finally, we need to download this active environment information back to Enterprise Manager so that users can interact with these new jobs. Here in the CTM log output, we see the messages daily system and New Day procedure ended. For a brief moment, Control-M server processes are unsuspended and then immediately suspended again so that we can download the active jobs back to Enterprise Manager. While that download occurs, the gateway in the CCM changes to downloading as seen here. After downloading completes, server processes are back to a normal running state and the gateway is connected again. You are now free to start working with this server's jobs in monitoring again. This concludes our overview of New Day. Thank you for your time, and now back to you, Trini.
Thank you, Eric, for explaining us the stages of pre-New Day and New Day. Our next demo is about how much time is needed for New Day to complete and methods to decrease the amount of time New Day takes. We have Ricardo who is going to lead us through this demonstration.
Thank you for the introduction, Trini. On this demo, I'm going to show you the following topics. What happened at New Day? What to check if your New Day takes longer than normal? How to make the New Day faster. At New Day, Control-M server suspended all ET processes. This means that no jobs can be changed at AJF or at job definition. Basically, it does three things. Clean up. This means it cleans the logs, statistics, job information, and job outputs. Second, it pushes all old jobs that were ended okay or had expired, even if it is ended not okay or had not executed yet, except the ones that are in hold status. Load all new jobs. After that, Control-M server is ready. Now the gateway will do the download to update the GUI at Control-M Enterprise Manager. Be careful, some of those changes that we will cover may cause unintended consequences. Please contact support before making these changes. Moving on, what to check if your new day takes longer than normal? Not sure if everyone knows, but since version 8, we have a new functionality. It's called Pre-New Day. With this feature, the new day should not take more than a couple of minutes. To make you understand what it does, 1 hour before the normal day, it does the load all new jobs that we just talked about in a different table. Because of this, since V8, we use more space at database. One thing that could make it slower is an environment problem. Control-M depends a lot on hardware and database performance. If any of those have any kind of performance issue, Control-M will feel it. To check how long your new day took, you can use the utility called CTM log. Not sure if everyone knows about this utility. Let's show you. You just type CTM log, it's going to open a prompt. You can check the details at our manual. But you can just type all the parameters by itself. Let's show you. I type CTM log, then what I want list subsystem, list SS. What is the subsystem? CD, that means the new day. Then I put a date. Let's put 22/11/16. And the time that start. As my new day start at 7 a.m., I'm going to put 5 a.m. So up to when? Let's put 22, the same date, 11/16. And at 8, just to be sure, sorry, let's type it 8. This is going to show all the records, but I wanted to check just one thing. Let's put grep new day procedure. This. Now you can see when it started, when it ended. Now to check the pre-new day, how do I do that? I use almost the same command. I'm gonna put CTM log list SS. Instead of CD, I put OD. I'm gonna use the same date and also the graph. But instead of new day, I'm gonna put what? I'm gonna put pre-new day, and I wanna know just the job that was ordered. But I wanna see just the end of the file because I don't need to check all the files. I have 2,000 jobs here. Let's put fail -2. So I know that my pre-new day ended at 6 a.m. It's fast. We can also check the amount of jobs that were loaded. How do I do that? I just execute the same command, but instead of this tail, I'm gonna put word count airline. 2,000 jobs were ordered. You can also check the amount of data that your control has by checking the gateway log. I'm gonna show you how. Here I'm on control server. I'm gonna go to EM. So I go cd EM, cd log. I want to see the gateway. Let's pick the last one. No, let's put more. This. Here I can see new day, the date, 2,000 jobs, as I said, the number of condition. One thing that caught my attention is the number of out condition that we have there. It's bigger than the pre, so it looks like a job is not deleting. We have some job that's just creating the condition, it's not deleting. You need to check that. An easy way to check the conditions, just go to Tools. Then here we have the option Conditions. Check conditions. Let's load. Look, I have all the conditions here. So it means that wasn't clean for some reason. Need to check why. But the easiest way is this way. As I said, when I started this presentation, the Control M does the load job, but the new day also does what? Clean up the logs, the information, the job inf, and the agent cleanup, that's output, etc. How do I check how long that takes? We can use the same CTM log. I'm going to execute the same command, CTM log, the CD. But instead of new day procedure, I'm going to check for cleanup. Here you can see when it started. Look, the control log started, the control log ended, and they keep 2 days. The statistic information that's run info started, ended here, and they keep 20 executions. The job inf within 1 day. The agent cleanup, it keeps just 1 day for the outputs. And the active. Everything starts at 7 and at 7. Very fast as well. If you want to improve your new day, you can disable the cleanup and execute them manually. We have those parameters. Agent cleanup in new day. This parameter, when set to null, will disable the output cleanup. To make it valid, you must restart the Control M server. If you change this to null, you must create a job to do this cleanup. Here we have some examples. CTM AGCLN minus agent stars, that means all agents, minus date, the number of days that you want to keep. Or CTM AGCLN minus agent, the agent name, minus day, the number of days. The other parameter is statistic cleanup in new day. If you set to N, it will disable the statistic cleanup. As the other parameter, when set to null, you will need to do the cleanup manually. You can do it using the utility CTM runinf minus purge. You can change those parameters at Control M Configuration Manager, CCM, System Parameters, as this screen is showing. Please note that the refresh type is different. Manual one, you need just to click on Apply Changes button. The recycle, you must restart Control Server. Another way to check is using the utility CTM SPDiag. This utility is used to print internal logs generated by database store procedure. Now I'm going to show you how to use the CTM SPDiag. Here I'm on Control Server, so I type CTM SPDiag-H to show the help. Let's see this option too. CTM SPDiag minus print the store procedure name from date to date. Like I have here, I put the from date about 6 a.m. up to 8 a.m. Let's see how it shows. I can see that new day start at 7 and end at 7. So, it's nice one to see this one. No duplicated. So means that nothing was changed between the start of pre-new day up to the end. Another one from Control Server is download threads. By setting this parameter to a higher value, multiple threads will be used for download. So the download of AJF will be performed in multiple threads in parallel. The default value is 3. But if you do this change, I also recommend you to change one parameter at Control M Enterprise Manager. The parameter is GTW num update threads. This is the number of threads that the gateway will have to use. If you wish to do any of those changes, I do recommend you to open a case before doing that. And also, if you have a test environment, do there first. Let me show you the system parameters. You can go here on EM or Control M Server. If I right click here, I can go to system parameters here or here as well. I can just click here, show the system parameters. So I go advanced, I can put the name here. Like the one that we talked about, GTW number of the date here. Here you can change the number as you wish. Or on Control M Server as well. You can go here, you can right click and choose the system parameter as well here. Or via here as well. Here is the same. I can put the or category, or I can put just the name, like agents. Agent cleanup here. You just set. Here is the activate change that I said as well. And with that, I conclude this demonstration. Thank you very much, and back to Trini.
Thank you, Ricardo, for showing us how to shorten new day time. Next, we have Maribel Garcia, who is going to talk about what logs and utilities can be used to troubleshoot new day.
Thank you, Trini. As I mentioned, I will be giving an overview of how to troubleshoot the new day in version 9.21 environment. We are going to go ahead and talk about some utilities and specific logs we do have to troubleshoot the new day, like CTM log, CTM UDCHK, CTM UDLST. For utilities and for logs, we will be taking the CE log, CTMS API gateway, CTMS API order, and EM gateway log for the EM download. The first utility is the CTM log. This will show you how long your new day is running and what parts of it are taking the most amount of time. In version 9.21, we need to focus on the CD and OD messages. Prior to version 21, we only check CD messages. Since we covered the CTM log utility in detail during Ricardo's and Rorik's presentation, I won't go into deep. However, let me summarize and have a quick overview of what we can check here for troubleshooting purpose. At the following example, we run the CTM log list searching for CD messages with the appropriate time frame. Let me show you how you will do this in the environment. From this output, we can see the new day start at 7. All the cleanup was performed. All the jobs that were removed from AGF. When the user daily system start, when the user daily system end, We can also see when the new day ends and how long it took to perform the download to the EM. At the next example, we run CTM log list searching for audio messages with the appropriate time frame. Let me quickly show you from the environment. Here, it will show you when the pre-new day run to order the jobs. This used to be 1 hour before, in this example at 6. We can see all jobs ordered during pre-new day. Then we can see the ones ordered during the new day at 7. Now let's move to the CTM UDCHK utility. This utility can be used to check a specific user daily to see what jobs have not been ordered for today. For example, if there were a problem during a user daily and only some of the jobs got ordered, then you can run this utility for the user daily you want to check in the daily value. And for the action, we will use list to get the list of the jobs that have not been ordered for that specific user daily. Let me demonstrate how to run it in the environment. In this example, we check for system daily with the list action and for the specific date. And we can see there are some jobs that were not ordered. Fortunately, there is an easy way to ordering the jobs that were not ordered. You can do that using the same command for the same daily with action order instead of list, and it will force to order the jobs that were not ordered for that day. Let me demonstrate how to run it in the environment. In this example, for System Daily, we can see performing force of the jobs, so this will force the jobs that were not ordered. The last utility is the CTM UDLST. You can run it with the list option and it will display the date to check when each user daily last ran. If you suspect that a user daily did not run and you want to verify, you can use this utility. In this example, we can see that System Daily ran last time on 11 November. To further investigate the new day procedure steps, we do have the CE log. This log is located under the Control M Server home directory CTM_server proclog folder. Here we can find more logs related to internal Control M Server processes, but for new day troubleshooting stuff, we will focus in the CE process log, which contains information related to the new day procedure. You need to find and open the CE log that contains the new day with its timestamp. Let's go ahead and check the content of the file. From this log, we can see all the steps performed during new day with further details on the steps. To get this information we are going to review, it's not needed to have the debug set on. If any of the steps had any problem, we should see it in this log. Here we can see when the new day time arrived. The supervisor process starts requesting to suspend all the Control M server processes. We can see it here, supervisor state is R for running and request S for suspending. After all processes are in suspend mode, the new day procedure starts. It does all the cleaning for resource, IALOG, conditions, clean AGF, and statistics cleanup. We can see the times where it starts and ends all the cleaning. After that, the system daily starts. First with the analysis and update of pre-ordering, and then it sends the confirmation to CTM API Gateway to order the jobs. After this, the new day procedure ends and the supervisor requests to change the processes from suspend to running again. As new in version 21, we do have the CTMS API Gateway service. This is responsible for getting the new requests and dispatch it to the relevant service via Kafka. In this case, to the CTMS order service, which is in charge of ordering the jobs. This log is located under Control M Server home directory CTM_server log services folder. Here we can find more logs related to Control M server services, but for new day troubleshooting, we will be focused in the CTMS API Gateway Service log. Let's go ahead and check the relevant content of the file related with the new day request. From here, we can see at 6 the pre-order system daily request was sent. The request is sent from the CE process to the CTMS API Gateway Service. We do see here the request is to order the pre-order system daily, and the new day is set to system daily pre for pre-order. From the same log at 7, we can see the system daily for new daily is request. This request is also sent from the CE process to the CTMS API Gateway Service for the new day time at 7 in this example. The service in charge of order jobs is the CTMS Order Service. This log is called CTMS Order Service and is located in the same path than previous one in Control M Server Home Directory on the CTM_server log services folder. Once here, we need to search for the CTMS Order Service log. Let's take a look to the relevant information in this log. From here, we can see the pre-order system daily request. This request comes from the CTMS API Gateway Service as a Kafka request to order the jobs from the pre-order new day at 6. Then, in the same log at 7, we can see the order of the new day jobs request also from the CTMS API Gateway Service as a Kafka request. In this log, we can see also that the system user daily for new day result was successful. After the jobs were ordered, if we check again the same CE log than before, there we can see how the CE process requests the download to the Control M Enterprise Manager Gateway component in order to download the new active job file to the Control M Enterprise Manager database. In the CE log, we can see the download request, and also we can see here the confirmation received from the EM to start the download. After this request, we need to check the gateway log for the same time. This is located under Control M Enterprise Manager Home Directory under log folder. Once here, we need to search for the GTW_log with the specific Control M server name on it. If we have more than one Control M server, we need to identify the problematic one by checking the Control M server name in the gateway log name. Here, we can find more logs related to Control M Enterprise Manager, but to check the download request from new day, we will focus in the gateway log. Let's take a look to the relevant information in this log. From the gateway log, we can see the download is performed. The log is showing the start download procedure and end download. You can check the timestamps for each other to determine how long the download took. When it finishes, it sends a message to the Control M server to inform about it. We can see it here, sent to CTM-AGF, download confirmation. This concludes our troubleshooting of new day. Thank you, and now I'm back to you, Trini.
Thank you, Maribel, for showing us how to troubleshoot New Day. All right, everyone, that concludes our session for today. On behalf of Eric, Ricardo, and Maribel, and the entire Connect with Control M team, thank you for spending some time with us today. We look forward to you taking advantage of the information presented today and using this in your environment. Stick around for the Q&A session where we'll take your questions. But first, you can learn more about the BMC education course Control M Advanced Administering by clicking the link in the links section below, or you can visit the bit.ly link you see on the screen. Your feedback shapes our future webinars. We would appreciate if you will take a moment and answer a few questions for us in the survey that you will receive later today. You can find Control M on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Links for each can be found in the links section below. You can watch previous webinars on the Control M channel on YouTube. Today's webinar will be posted there within a couple of days. Let's kick off the Q&A. As a reminder, you can enter your questions on the Ask a Question section at any time.